In this video, I'm going to be testing out different methods of priming Reaper bones and figuring out which method has the best durability. So these bones that I'm going to be testing in this video are the original Reaper bones. Reaper has been talking recently about the new Reaper Bones Black, which is the new material that they're going to be doing some of their miniatures in. Supposedly, it has less mold lines, it has better details, and it's slightly darker color than the bones that you're going to be seeing today. I was lucky enough to get a sample of Reaper Bones Black, so here is my review.
Hey guys, I'm here to review Reaper Bones Black. I got the brand new miniatures. We'll have to see how these look and compare to the original Reaper Bones miniatures. Okay. So you can tell material is stiffer. That's good. It's if you want stiff material, it's gonna have a lot more detail. And whoa, oh man, the durability is awful. Did you see this?
Just kidding, everybody. The new Reaper Bones Black will be available in store now. They are selling an owlbear made out of the new material. You can either buy it for $8, or if you can find $40 worth of stuff to buy in the Reaper store, they will throw in that owlbear for free during the month of January. So back to the original bones, let's test out some priming materials and see which ones work best for durability purposes. First off, I have the liner. In this case, I specifically used the brown liner. This is a popular one from the Reaper forums. Next up is just the classic HD Reaper paint as a base coat, nothing special there. These two are Vallejo. I would like to note that the one on the right was washed in alcohol and primed months and months ago, and the one is more newly primed is on the left. This one is just washed. I didn't use any alcohol on it, just washed it and then used Vallejo. These two are the craft paint, the craft smart paint you can find in Michael's. This is the Black Magic Craft. Apparently this is the stuff he had really good results with. So for the purposes of this test, I gave them all a coat of Reaper Umber Brown HD. You'll notice that there is a WizKids model on the far right. That guy is one of the, I believe it's one of the Nolzur's miniatures, which is already pre-primed with Vallejo. So I'm just going to toss these guys in a plastic chest along with some plastic dice and a pencil. I'm just trying to replicate, just kind of hard use if you happen to be jostling them around or dropping them on the table. Now you guys might be wondering, how come I wasn't meticulous with the painting of these guys? And this is a rough test, so I didn't want to go through and make everything like 100% scientific, like get the exact note. I mean, you can see the paint coverage. There is different paint coverage on these per miniature, but I think it's a standard enough test to see just what is going to happen in terms of durability when this chest gets knocked around. All right, so one crucial step remains. Hey, Kringle. I'm going out, but I need you to make sure that this box stays safe, okay? Nothing can happen to this box, okay? Wow, so I assumed that we weren't going to see any results just from that, but we actually already see some results on one of the miniatures in particular. That was just, just throwing it around a little bit, and then like just 2 minutes of just like kind of light shaking in this box here. And already we have paint chippage, which I honestly didn't think was going to happen, so let's take a look at the results. The Vallejo did really well in all three of the iterations here. The dwarf guy here, there might be some very minor spots, but not anything too hard where the white showed up. The ghoul here, you can clearly see there's some spots on his belt that were an issue. The little homunculus guy here, I didn't really notice much on him. The liner did okay, though there was a couple spots on his helmet and on his arm that were knocked loose of paint. The skeleton craft smart guy got a couple major dings of paint removed from him. Not too surprising there. And the the poor craft smart dwarf took the brunt of this, apparently. He had whole swaths of his undercoat knocked off, and the white is showing in various places. So, you know, just washing and then using Craft Smart seems maybe a little less durable. And then with the WizKids guy, I didn't notice any paint getting knocked off at all. The coverage on that guy seemed pretty great. Super impressed with the liner. I didn't expect the liner to work this well, but it did. But you can see a couple clear spots there where the paint got knocked off. In his helmet thing, all the little rivets in his helmet, the paint got knocked off as well, if you can't see that in the video. The ghoul here, it's much easier to see in person, but there were some spots on his belt where the HD Reaper paint primer got knocked off. The base coat didn't protect him. And then the skeleton here, you can clearly see where a couple exposed spots, the paint was completely knocked off. Both the umber brown and the lighter craft smart brown underneath. And then the poor dwarf, obviously the big loser of this test, this dwarf got his stuff completely knocked off. So what does this tell me? Well, the dwarf was actually one of the more sturdier bones miniatures in this. So by the very fact that it was denser, that might have contributed to the paint getting knocked off. But you would have expected more paint to get knocked off the skeleton too, regardless. So I think, honestly washing and rubbing alcohol does help, no matter what primer you're going to end up using on these guys. This test may not have been conclusive, but I would say that my previous findings that cleaning off the miniatures both regularly with a dish soap and a toothbrush, then cleaning them off with some rubbing alcohol, and then when they're completely dry, priming them with either Vallejo or some other surface primer, that's probably the best way to prime bones, in my personal opinion. I'm going to be testing out some other polyurethane primers in the near future, and I am certainly interested in getting my hands on some of the Reaper Bones black models and seeing how those paint up. I hope you enjoyed this little experiment. If nothing else, you got to see a puppet throw around some miniatures.